We are back like we never, ever left. We're back. The football season is back. Welcome back to the catch up, everybody. Yeah! So good to have you back. I hope everybody had an amazing summer. The summer of 2025 is almost, I think we have another week of full-time summer, but it's officially over on September 21st, I believe. Until then, we're not officially done with summer, but we're basically done with summer. Why? Because football is back! Football is back. We've all here at the catch-up had a little rest, little relaxation. I hope you did as well. I hope you spend time with family or those that you love. I hope that you got some really, really good rest and got recharged and ready for this next year, whether it's your next school year, the next football season, next NBA season, baseball season gonna be wrapping up soon. But we got a lot going on here, at the catch up, and it's so exciting. I missed y'all. Oh, if you can, tell me in the comments some things you were doing real quick. I'll tell you some things I was doing. Woo! I went on a couple of family vacations. One in particular was celebrating my brother-in-law's 50th birthday, and we went on a Mediterranean cruise where we hit Spain and France and Italy. And what I learned from that amazing experience and all that we saw is your girl ain't a cruise person. No. Your girl ain't a cruise person. Shout out to everybody that is a cruise person, though. Shout out to y'all. I am not one of them, and neither is my husband. And neither is my daughter, and neither is my youngest son, who got a stomach virus on that Petri dish on the cruise. Yeah, one big Petri dish. But not our thing. My middle son, however, had the time of his life. He's 10 years old. Makes sense. We had walkie-talkies for them, so the kids were like all over that boat without us, just on the walkie-talkies. So they felt a sense of freedom. They, my 10-year-old and his cousin from New York had a great time. She's 8, my niece, and so that was great. Good for them. They got their summer in. Prior to that, we were in Florida for my son's birthday, and so he went to Alabama for space camp. I mean, that guy had a great summer. Shout out to him, who is now he himself is now a cruise person. We're not. We're not. But we did have a great time. We saw so many beautiful things. And, we were back in Barcelona. We've been to Barcelona before. We went to another island, Palma de Mallorca, in off the coast of Spain. And then we were in south of France for a couple of days. It's just not enough time, right? It's not enough time. Marseille, Provence, it was not enough time. And then, oh my God, trying to do Rome in Italy, and we were in Florence and Rome and Naples, and each of those for like a day. No bueno. It's not good. Trying to do all that is crazy. But I'd be lying if I didn't say, we just ate well and saw amazing things. And then we went straight back into school, and this is where we are. And then football. And I got to tell y'all, I wish I had a summer that I relaxed in. Instead, I had a summer where I gave my children experiences, and that means no vacation. So shout out to everybody who had a official vacation and got your rest. I am looking forward to having a vacation from the summer vacation. Cannot wait. Anyway, it's the Monday after the Sunday. Football returned. Football Sunday this week. It was amazing. So many great matchups, including a division rivalry in the AFC North. As you can see, this is like such a better experience than last year. Man. All right, I'm gonna get C-Nell on here. We got our guest cousin C-Nell is back in the house. So we will bring him on in like 1 minute. But yeah, it was so many good matchups. I mean, before we get into our matchup, real quick, I told Carnell that Baltimore was going to lose against the Bills last night. And he said, nah, no way. That was a fluke what happened in the playoffs last year. And I said, they ain't really ready for the lights for whatever reason. And then I went out about my business. I actually couldn't watch the beginning of the game, and he went and did something else. And top of fourth quarter, you know, the Bills were down 15 points, 16 points, something like that, and almost 20 points. And, you know, methodically, and still one of the biggest mysteries in the world, slowly crept back and beat the Baltimore Ravens on national TV on Sunday night in their opener in Buffalo. But last minute field goal kick and won the game by Matt Prater, who, you know, I didn't even know was still in the league. But that was just a phenomenal game that I knew Baltimore was going to lose. I just knew. I knew. Shout out in the comments if you knew Baltimore was probably going to lose that game, but totally enjoyed that matchup. That was a great, great matchup. Josh Allen is a bad boy. Sometimes I think he's overrated, but he is a bad boy. And like, to no fault of Lamar, who did also an amazing job and was also a bad boy. And Derrick Henry was a bad boy, but that fumble. No. That fumble changed the momentum of that game. And I know he probably doesn't want to hear it. And I know Baltimore fans probably don't want to hear it. And there's a lot of other things that happen. But that fumble, I think in that moment, lost Baltimore that game. It's never just one play, but there is a play that changes the momentum, and that one was it. So, I mean, because the Bills came back in spite of an interception, actually 2 interceptions. One was on the 2-point conversion, which I didn't even know was called an interception. I didn't know you could, I thought interceptions was with the probability that you can take it down and score on it, but I didn't know you could have the probability to score when it's a 2-point conversion. Anyway, that being said, in spite of all of that, they still came back and won that game. I don't know how. It's crazy. The Lord loves the Bills. They saved the boy's life on the field. Josh Allen found his girl and got married this summer. Came back from like 20 points down in the fourth quarter. Safe to say, God loves the Bills. Shout out. I won't be rooting for him, but I'll be rooting for him sometimes, but not the whole time. Anyway, we are going to talk about some more matchups, but first, let's get to it. Who dey? And just like that, right on time, ladies and gentlemen, with no further ado, it's time to talk about these stripes. And so we have our number one guest, the number one, my co-man in so many different ways, my cousin, C-Nell in the house.
What's happening? What's good, man? That was terrible. But yeah, I'm good, man. I'm good.
It was terrible. Was that just like fighting the air? What was that?
Yeah, it was bad. I won't do that again. But yeah, what's happening? How y'all living?
What's up, boy?
Good, man. I'm good, man. I'm feeling real good today. Feeling real good. Yeah.
Good.
We had a good day yesterday.
It was rough though. It was rough, right?
It was a little scary. It was a little scary, you know.
Kind of rough.
Lie. Yeah, but hey, man, a win is a win, right? Nobody cares at the end of the day. Because when we lose like that, nobody cares. Win is a win.
This is true. This is true. However, it didn't have to be that hard. Wouldn't you say?
You gotta remember, man. The Browns, that's probably a top 5 defense in the league. Period.
Okay.
You got Myles Garrett, you know what I'm saying? Greg Newsome. You know what I'm saying? Like, those guys are good. There are no slouches on that team at all. On the defensive end. On the defensive end. So, yeah, they made it tough. Division rivalry, division opponents, you know, they know each other well. They know how to play Joe. They do. Kevin Stefanski's He's a good coach. He's just good, man. So yeah, it was a tough.
So I think that's where I get a little frustrated because as many weapons as we have, and even as much as our defense has improved, you know that I am very concerned about being outcoached this season.
Yeah,
And so,
man.
but I think if we were even mid, that we wouldn't have got outcoached. I mean, looking at the time management in the fourth quarter, like that, I thought I was going to blow a gasket. Like,
Yeah.
you gave the ball back to them. Why?
I don't know. For whatever reason, Zach Taylor wants to put trust into his defense. I guess he want to show his defense that he trusts them. That's the
Here's the
only
thing,
thing
though.
I can think of.
The defense was looking decent, as you said, like our rushing defense was looking different, but the passing defense was putrid again. So
Yeah.
you, in a crunch time where you know they have to pass, you put all the marbles in our passing defense?
Well, here's the thing. You got to remember who's quarterbacking back there. That's Joe Flacco. He going to give you one. He going to give you one. Joe going to give you one. I mean, you can put your kids out there. They going to get one from Joe Flacco. You know what I'm saying? So if you're using that type of logic, Joe Flacco, passing defense, yeah, all right. We going to see if you really about that life, Joe. So I get
Yeah,
that.
but this is
aspect.
after. But to me, this is after the interception, though. This is after the interception. We get the ball back from the interception. He, called that timeout with like a minute 20 left, and like,
Well, yeah. You put
and then we
the
gave the ball back. So to
yeah.
me, I'm like,
Well, you flipped the field. You gotta remember they punted the ball, so they were back down all the way to the what was it, the 5-yard line or 3-yard line or something like that. So, I mean, he basically said, I don't believe you could pass the length of this field without making mistakes, and he couldn't. So, I mean, it worked
I
out.
didn't like that. I didn't like that. You also could have got it down and got that ball and held that ball for the rest of the game.
That defense was stingy. They wasn't giving away nothing. Only thing I would say is Zach Taylor's situational football is not great. His situational football, it's times and moments that you have opportunities to make on the field, and Zach just don't really take them. I mean, I would have went for it, obviously. I'd have definitely went for it. But, in his case, I will say he did a good thing. He punted the ball, and he made them go the entire length of the field, and they couldn't do it. So I do have to give him kudos for that. So
What do you feel about with it being our first game, with all of our weapons, with all the money we spent on the offseason, as everybody will constantly remind us, which as a Bengals fan, we're so happy about the money we've spent.
And I don't know why they keep reminding us. At first, we
I know,
couldn't
it's
do
like-
it. At first, we couldn't afford it.
I know.
And now we can afford it. It's, they spent all their money on offense. Well,
Okay, that's what we're supposed to do. And as a Bengals fan, we are all thrilled about it. So shout
Yeah.
out to anybody in the media who doesn't understand that. Like, we don't care. We want to spend the money. We have an owner that has never spent the
they
money.
never spent money like this. Never like
Never spent money like this. So we're thrilled. Y'all ain't hurt nobody's feelings by talking about how
At
we
all.
spent all the money. We're thrilled.
At all.
However, we did spend the money. And that being said, I think I expected more than 17 points.
Well, like I said, that Browns defense, no joke. They know us well. They know our schemes well. No joke. Also, let's be real. The Bengals, early in the season, they ain't the strongest team at the beginning of the season. It's like me in the morning. You know how I am in the morning? When I wake up, I'll be like, oh, God. You know what I'm saying? That's how they are at the beginning of the season.
Wake up in the morning. You don't even wake up in the morning. Wait it out.
I mean, but you get what I'm saying. Anyway, that's the analogy I'm saying. It's a little rough in the morning. So I think that was good that they survived it and they won that first game. However it may be, they got it, man. I'm not
Do you
complaining.
remember last year, our opening of the catch up, the first game of the season?
Hmm.
Do you remember how depleted we were shooting that episode?
Yeah, that loss to the Patriots was ugly.
Oh, it was the Patriots. It wasn't the Commanders?
Mm-mm. No, it was the Patriots.
That's right.
We
You know
lost
what?
to the
I
Patriots.
misspoke earlier in the show. I said it was the Commanders, but no, you're right. It was the Patriots. Oh,
Yeah, we only had like what 10 points in that game.
oh. Even worse that it was the Patriots.
It was bad, man. It was rough. I told you, that's
Yeah.
that early morning, man. Joe's waking up like, oh God, sun is out.
And it's not even like with the Commanders where they ended up being, a super strong, reputable playoff team. The Patriots were pretty piss poor for the rest of the season after beating us.
They weren't that good after that. You would have thought that would have gave them a confidence boost, but they was nah.
Yeah, no.
It was like
But it
nah.
was like we really lost to a bad team in the opening game of the season.
Yeah.
It's been a long time since we've been 1-0, which is
Last
within
time was the
itself.
Super Bowl year. Just to put that out there. Just saying.
No, let's
Saying.
not do it. Let's not do it. Let's not do
I'm
it.
just
Let's not do
saying.
it.
That was the last time it happened. That's factual. So I'm just saying.
Listen, in our division, it is kind of a big deal in the AFC North to have that first win. That's a big deal.
Definitely.
And the next 3 games are going to be important too. You know, us, Pittsburgh, and then let's talk about the 2 that lost. Pittsburgh obviously pulled out on the Jets, which I don't know how they did that.
Bad Santa, man. They had Bad Santa at quarterback. He was out there doing his thing. You ain't see Bad Santa? Billy Bob, he was wasted behind the line. Like, yeah. He was getting it, though. He was balling, man.
Aaron Rodgers is Bad Santa.
They had Bad Santa back there.
He is evil. He is mean.
He was bad.
Oh, and then he had that sorry. Oh God, he's so bitter. He had that bitter press conference afterwards.
I
Talking
told
about
you it's
some,
Bad Santa. That's Billy Bob, man. He don't care.
Billy Bob has to play Aaron Rodgers, right? He absolutely does.
He do it. Do an Aaron Rodgers movie. He just gonna be a drunken Bad Santa through the whole movie. He got a flask in his uniform. He pull out. He just hit it on the sidelines.
Oh my gosh, that has to happen. But somehow they pulled that one out, which is
I mean,
quite
it was the
amazing.
Jets, so
No, the Jets looked good. They looked good.
alright.
Okay. I thought they looked good. And I'm a Justin Fields fan, so
I like Justin.
I thought they looked great.
Yeah, I like Justin.
I'm rooting for Glenn. Like I was rooting for the Jets.
I mean,
So
obviously,
was my husband,
obviously,
as you know.
yeah, yeah.
But let's talk about the teams that lost. Well, actually, let's just talk about that other team that lost.
Yeah, because we already talked about the Browns. Yeah,
Yeah, we already talked
we
about
already
the
talked
Browns.
about the Browns. We ain't got to talk
Yeah.
about that no more. Yeah,
Let's talk about
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Let's talk about
That
them
purple.
bird brains, man. Them
Purple,
flock, them
yeah.
bird brains out there.
They talk so much.
Them
They
featherheads. You know what I'm saying? When did they become so vocal? I've never heard Raven fans talk like this. Never.
Oh, I have. What are you talking about?
No,
They've
I've
always been
I've never heard Raven fans talk like this since
like in the Ray Lewis days. You don't remember how much smack they talked?
it was always Pittsburgh. It was never the Ravens fans like this. It was always Pittsburgh.
Oh.
No, it was
Well,
always
listen.
Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh is not their threat. We are.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, we're their threat.
Yeah.
Listen, I always laugh about the Ravens because they were never really our enemies. Because I always tell people like
Yeah. We never really
when we were growing
yeah.
up, there were no Ravens.
Well, yeah, when we was younger, it wasn't no Ravens. Even when they
There
came
were no
along,
Ravens.
even when
They
they
weren't
did
my-
come along, nobody cared.
I wasn't like, and when they were good, when they won that first whatever, we were so horrible. We were never they weren't ever our rivals like a Pittsburgh was.
No.
But yeah, they talk a lot. I don't pay attention to them. Although last year when Cincinnati played them, I was in Cincinnati. As you know, I was doing a young voters event in Cincinnati. And the Ravens came in town. They played the Bengals, and I couldn't even go to the game, but I had the TV on at my event.
Right.
And do you know some Ravens players
Oh man.
came by my event in their jerseys, eating my food at my event, and taking my goodie bags and all that stuff. And because I was trying to get young people to vote, I couldn't send them away. But I was like, the gall, the nerve. I mean, oh.
Yeah.
And they were
man.
talking stuff there, and they almost got kicked out the event.
That's what I'm
But,
saying. Like, when
yeah.
did they become? When did that happen?
I don't know, but they don't show up in the spotlight. And when I say they, because the Ravens do have a history of showing up in the spotlight, I got to put it on Lamar. Like, what? And it wasn't even his fault, really. But I don't know what the leadership is there, where he's not locked in enough. Like, he almost got ejected. Did you see that?
No, he almost got ejected.
Well, one of the fans was patting his head, and he didn't like that crap, and I understand him not liking it, but yeah, they were like patting his head and one of the other people's heads. And he was like, get the F off of me to a fan. I think he pushed the fan.
Right.
But the fan was like leaning over, patting their heads.
Yeah, you can't
So-
do that. Yeah, you can't do that.
No, it's terrible.
Yeah, you
It's
can't
terrible.
do that. You can't do that.
But they were like,
yeah, that's
yeah, but some people were like saying, all I will say is something happened with the momentum on that, in that game. And I don't know if that's like lack of leadership or lack of being locked in, but something happened, and it cannot happen. Like,
they took
y'all
their foot
can't
off the
keep
gas,
winning.
man. They took their foot off the gas. They had a big lead. They thought they were going to be able to coast, and Buffalo was like, nah, we ain't having it. Nah,
They
period.
weren't even coasting. They were still, like I said, it was an interception happening. It was like they weren't giving up. They just, like, yeah, I just think they weren't locked in. There was something with the focus or something, because ain't no way. That's something that happens to us.
And like I said,
Somebody come back 20 points and beat us. That doesn't happen to other people, does it?
well, the Ravens is interesting because they always say the Ravens were built to have a lead. They were built to win with the lead. You know what I'm saying? They're not
Yeah.
really a comeback team. They're a team that once they get the lead, they kind of put their foot in your neck and you're done. But whatever happened, man.
Because remember, they were up 20, and then I called you. I was like, yo, I told you they was gonna lose. I don't really know how they lost, but yeah, they.
And that's my point. I knew for a fact they were going to go into this game and like give it to the Bills. And for the first half, they did. How did they blow that? Fumble here, a bad play, a mismanaged call. Like, yo, it was.
It was bad.
It was
bad.
It was wild. That was one of the wildest
And,
games I saw yesterday.
And because I do like Lamar, and I love our division is tough. So I'm never like totally rooting against them, but
Unless it's
unless they're
Pittsburgh.
playing us.
Unless it's Pittsburgh or they playing us.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not totally rooting against them, but listen, y'all got to do better. Y'all got to figure it out. You got to win the big games, not against the Bengals, but you do have to win some other big games.
They're going to see him in the playoffs. They're going to see Josh Allen in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The way he was playing last night?
Yeah, you're going to see him in the playoffs. That team is much better, much improved. That pass rush was getting to Lamar. I don't even know
Yeah,
how.
because you had no faith in them.
But, I mean, to my credit, they had him beat. I don't know what happened. They had him beat. I don't know. I don't know how they lost that game.
And this is their last year in that stadium, so they are fighting for like they're going to try to leave that stadium with
Oh,
like
the
a
Bills.
legacy.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
yeah.
I think they're going to try to make a real strong Super Bowl run, being that it's their last year in
Mm-hmm.
that stadium.
Yeah.
So, we'll see.
Oh,
But,
Did you see the Kansas City and Chargers game?
Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
Yeah.
It's a lovely game.
Yeah, that was very interesting.
Hey, guess what I found out? Fun fact. I was in LA at a bar watching that game, waiting because I was taking my daughter to see And Juliet down at the Amundsen Theater. And it's a Broadway musical. We enjoyed it. We had a good time. While I was waiting for her, I was at a bar. And fun fact, that game initially was scheduled for SoFi. It was a home game by the NFL standards. But I guess there was a scheduling conflict because I think they said Chris Brown bought out. Wait, did Chris Brown already come? I have to double check.
You missed Chris.
Chris
You
Brown.
missed Breezy,
Anyway,
man.
Chris Brown was supposed. Somehow the scheduling was SoFi, and then Chris Brown booked SoFi. Anyway, that's how it ended up being in Brazil.
They went all the way to Brazil. Okay, that was
Which
dope.
people are like Brazil cares about that kind of football. They don't. They don't. Real quick, another fun fact, football fact.
Yeah.
Actually, this is not a football fact. This is a Cincinnati fact. Hey, for all of you that don't know us, just real quick, I am Napiera Groves Boykin. I do a lot of things, but on the side, I really like sports. So I found no greater person to kind of talk about that with than my cousin, Cornell, who is also, we call him C-Nell, who is also from Cincinnati. We both live on the West Coast. However, every week we get together and we catch up on a few things, sports and other things. And throughout the season, C-Nell will join us when he can, but we'll also have a lot of guests lined up from every aspect of the sports world and sometimes entertainment. So hopefully you'll continue to join us. But real quick, one more Cincinnati funny thing. I went to go see the comedian Dion Cole last night. And guess where he had just come in from?
Cincinnati.
Yes, they had played Columbus. He was like saying how tired he was. He'd just come in from Ohio, and he went to Columbus. And then he said, I went to Cincinnati. And of course, I shout out, fresh off a win, "Hooday!" from the audience. And he was like, "What's up?" And I was like, "Yeah." And guess what? He said that he played the Hard Rock Casino. Mm-hmm. You know that?
The casino, yeah.
He played the Hard Rock Casino, and they gave them food. They had them a banquet, a table of food, and they went to go, like after the show, to the banquet of food. There were rats on the food, on the table.
Wow. That's
What
crazy.
the hell? Hey, Cincinnati, don't have me shouting out, "What's up? I'm from there," to people. And then the story they tell is there was rats on the fucking food table. Like,
Ooh, wait, yeah.
I was mad embarrassed. He was like, "Yeah, we was watching rats on the team." You know, he had this whole thing about it. And it was very, very embarrassing. And so I just like to not give a shout out to the Hard Rock Casino because y'all nasty MFs need to get it together. And don't embarrass your girl like that. Ooh.
Yeah, that's
anyway.
wild. That's wild.
That was
Rats at the
my,
casino. That's wild, man.
Rats.
Times
Is
were
it like
hard.
that? I haven't been in so long.
It didn't. I mean, I never saw no rats when I went, so it was. I don't know.
Yeah, on the table that he said they had like laid out food for the talent afterwards. There were rats.
Ew, that's wild.
Wrong.
Yeah,
Terrible.
that's raw dog.
So anyway, that being said, we only do cats around here. Actually, not me. I hate cats. But one cat I do love. The bingo cat. No rats. No rats. Shout out to everybody who had a good first week, not only of the NFL, but kind of as we fall into the summer. We will see you next week. Thank you for coming in. We want to thank you so much. Thank you so much for catching up with the catch up. C-Nell, it's good to catch up with you.
Always a pleasure.
All right, holla.
Peace.